Hi, everyone. Bev Adamo, Wild and Wise Women, Wild and Wise Sisterhood. And I'm here today with one of our incredible, amazing, awesome authors in the new collaborative book that's due. If you're with us live, it's due to launch tomorrow, March 28th. So if you haven't seen it, go to our events in the Wild and Wise Women page and check it out. Get into the event, say that you're going, because then you're going to get the link in order to purchase the book at the best price available. And we've put aside a certain number of copies for folks at the lowest price, discounted price available. So definitely you want to get into the event so that you get the update on what's going on there. And Karen, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so happy to see your beautiful face. Hello.
Ditto.
And yeah, thank you. And today, because if you haven't caught some of the other interviews, feel free to go back and take a look at them, where they're all on YouTube, they're all available, and talking to the authors about who they are. And today, Karen, what I'd love for you to do is tell us a little bit about yourself. So anyone who hasn't had the opportunity to see you before has an idea of who you are. And then I want to spend most of our time talking about your chapter so we can I know there are women, who are really going to resonate with who you are and what you do and what you're bringing, your story that you're bringing and sharing and inspiring with. So please tell us about yourself and your chapter, Playing with the Darkness.
I know, it sounds quite scary, really, doesn't it? Well, about me, I'm mum of four, do grief therapy, and I'm about to be a nature therapist. That's a new thing that's just happened this last week. A lady's come to me, and that's kind of in the pipeline. So that's really exciting.
Congratulations! I love that. And
really exciting.
Nature therapy. That sounds fantastic. I can't wait. So exciting.
Watch this space. So do you want to know about the book now, the chapter now, or do you want me to carry on wittering? I'm happy.
Sure. Well, let's go right in, because the title itself to me is intriguing. Playing with the Darkness. What does that mean? Where are you taking us on this amazing journey?
I knew you was going to ask me that, and that's the most complicated question.
Okay.
The title came up right at the very beginning when I didn't even know what I was going to write about, but when we was talking in the meeting to Julie, I was kind of going through all the themes of what I could write about, and I just said, I don't even know why I said it, but it did relate to what I was saying, but I said it's just Playing the Darkness. So she went, that's your title. So from that point, I wrote that as my heading, and my story just naturally came. So I know what it means now, but it's quite complicated. I think darkness is an expression of the human experience. So there's love and there's fear, there's light and there's dark. It's the balance of happy and sad, hot, cold, yin yang. And as humans, we're quite conditioned to avoid the pain.
Yes.
So I think that's the darkness aspect. So my chapter's about when I was ill with cancer. But I learned that actually, if you avoid the pain, that's what causes a lot of the problems. So I think when I put Playing with the Darkness, I think it's kind of I think it's an expression of movement, an expression to be childlike with it, and just accept that happy and sad do coexist together, and you can't really have one if you're being a human without the other. And people die, people get ill, and you can either push them away, which actually causes a lot of problems, or we can drop into it and not be rigid with the fear of the pain, if that makes any sense.
It absolutely makes total sense, yes.
Yeah, so I realised that I became ill because I was stuck. I'd been hiding away from emotions I hadn't faced. So I had to kind of pick them out, and it was a process of clearing the emotions that I'd never faced from childhood and conditioned to be a people pleaser. And when I'd done that, then I healed. So it's a little bit deeper than that, but that's the kind of what Playing with the Darkness means. think.
I love that. And Karen, I think that's especially important in these times because, when you look out, there seems to be such darkness that exists in the world. And yet, if we shy away from it, if we're not willing to, come up against it, and we're not willing to embrace it, because we're the light. You're correct. We have that, that paradox, that range of light, dark, and without being willing to really come up to it and look at it and allow the light to shine on it, so that then it becomes clear to us what the darkness is really about. I think it's beautiful, it's timely, it's powerful, and I love the way that you express that. And I know that it hasn't been simply your journey of embracing that darkness. That's what you do. That's the work. That's your passion, is to support others in doing that. So tell us a little bit about, how do you do that? How do you support us who may be pushing the darkness away or not wanting to look at it? How do you support us in being able to instead play with the darkness?
Well, it's about empowering people, isn't it? So first of all, it's about listening, and then it's getting them to trust and let go of the fear, which isn't quite, it's not easy. It's not as easy as it, I'm getting my words muddled up there. You have to trust and let go of the fear before you can drop into feeling the pain. And when you actually drop into that space, when you've had enough courage to be able to do it, I'm going to describe it as magical, because that's where the magic happens, and that's where the healing happens, and that's where you actually realise that fear is nothing but love. It's unless you actually do it, it's quite difficult to explain it. But the interesting thing is, the clients that I have quite often are scientists, doctors, real linear thinking people, and then I'm kind of this childlike, ooh. So it's like right brain, left brain people. But I've seen it work with people. I've seen people just be able to take away the fear of the pain and drop right into the heart, take the head out of trying to fix the problems. And when you really drop down, that's where your own voice is. And that's where, because we're all unique. I haven't got the answers to these people. They've got the answers for themselves. And it's quite easy not to listen to yourself. So it's about learning to drop into that space and find your own voice. And
I love the way you said that, because it's true. We've got all this information, and what you said about it's not always easy to listen to ourselves. So that's what I love about coaches and mentors and facilitators and healers such as yourself, Karen. You really do assist us. You show us a path that we can follow, because we do have the answers. It's not being able to hear them, and you open our ears, our eyes, our hearts to be able to kind of bypass that analytical piece of it, and, as you said, drop into the emotion, the energy and motion in the pain, so that then we can access that healing. I've heard it said in a number of different ways, and you say it very eloquently as well, in terms of really being able, it's our pain that holds the answers for our healing, whatever that healing looks like. And I really appreciate that you are a master at, inviting us into that place where then we can start hearing our answers and seeing what is possible for us. And I'm very interested, especially as a nature therapist, what kind of things do you do with respect to nature that help us? Because I'd love to hear about that.
Well, I haven't done it yet, Bev, but I can only go. It's going to be an organic process.
Okay.
But for me, and this is one of the big things about my book, it's nature heals. Nature is just, she just wants to nurture, and Mother Earth just wants us to heal and be loved. But I'm always really aware that I have I'm really happy splashing in puddles and being barefoot in the forest. I always talk about skipping and fairies. But you can have a different outlook and be a kind of a straight thinking person, and the science is out there, and there's research proving how beneficial nature is, just being out in the fresh air. So I mean, it works. So just something about it slows the nervous system down, and just being mindful and just in the moment assists the process of healing quicker than sitting in a clinical environment. That's the theory. So, yes.
Well, it absolutely works. And from what I understand, it's something that you have used in depth for your own healing.
That's how I healed. Process. I mean, for me, yeah, it did. I mean, it was properly, I had cancer and it was quite serious. So I lay on the earth every single day, no matter what was going on. I just lay on the earth. I was barefoot whenever I could, and I could just feel the healing. I could just feel, it just enabled me to trust. And the more that I trusted, the more I was able to open up, and the more the pain was able to flow through me. Because emotions don't want to stay stuck. They just want to flow through you. They're just the body's way of telling you what you need to look at. But the body doesn't want us to hold on to these. And the problems often come when people suppress the emotions. So I personally, for me, nature just really helps. And then I go back to childhood, and what I've learned is that I've always known everything that I need, and I believe we all know what we need. Yeah, and childhood nature has always been with me, and that's been my way to heal. So
beautiful.
It sounds quite simplistic, but I hope I write it more eloquently. I know I get my words muddled up when I'm really passionate, but I hope I write it more eloquently than I'm saying it.
Well, yeah, I completely feel what you're talking about, lying on the earth. It is a very powerful image to me. I mean, I can feel that. So you described it really beautifully and powerfully, and you know, as though I could feel myself lying on the earth and what that would be like to really, the trust that you speak of is extraordinary. The trust that you speak of is, you know, it invites courage, the kind of courage that all of us have access to, and yet I don't know, it's almost as though we're afraid to access our own courage and to access the trust. And you guide others in how to, you know, forego that fear or allow the fear to step aside while we engage with that trust and that power that we have. And I love how you talk about, you know, empowering us to access all the knowledge and the answers that we have. So beautiful. So beautiful.
But I think, oh, sorry, Bev. I was just about to say
no, please.
The empowering comes because you just, as a healer, we just become a mirror. So really all you're doing is bouncing back the other person. So the empowerment comes because they realise that actually they've done the work. And so although we have empathy and you can perhaps feel, that's a little bit of an advantage. You kind of know where to poke and prod a little bit, but yeah, they do the work. So that's the magical thing, and that's when I get pleasure helping people, because it's so rewarding to see somebody just, you just see people lift from years and years of pain, or and you just see the energy just lift, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And I've seen it happen so many times with so many people that I know it's not a coincidence. I know it's magical.
I love that. And the truly powerful healers who embrace their power as healers, that is what we do. We teach others and we guide others and we support others, hold the space for everyone to find that healer in themselves. And I love what you said about being a mirror, because truly that is.
Oh, you're going. Can you hear me?
Others to see that. I can.
Yeah, I missed what you said then. Sorry, Bev.
That's okay. Everybody else got there, so we're good.
Okay.
You already know all this because you are a master healer, and I so appreciate your energy, who you are, what you're doing, and in wrapping this up, I'd love for you to tell us, because each author has generously provided a prize or gift out there for our book launch, for those people who buy the most books or share the most books, and you entered into a drawing for this. And so, Karen, tell us what your offer is, what your gift is for the lucky person that gets drawn to share time with you.
They get me.
Yeah, they get you.
3 1-hour sessions of, well, I suppose I specialize in grief, but it's bring you pain, and let's just sit and see where it goes. Yeah, just I can't give you an answer what it's going to be like because it's different for everybody, but it's a completely different process to be kind of in channeling, healing, and yeah, seeing what comes up, playing with the darkness together.
Playing with the darkness together. I love that. I love that. Love that. So Karen, thank you again for joining me, for joining the world, for joining the 10 authors with your extraordinary voices, your inspiration, your courage. And for those of you out there listening, whether it's live or on replay, thank you for also being part of this energy that is, we as Wild and Wise women, we're in it to be on fire and to be passionate and to bring our feminine fire out into the world. And Karen, I'm so honored and grateful to know you, to be a part of this with you, and looking forward to great things as we go along, and knowing more about your nature therapy. It's just so beautiful. What a gorgeous evolution of all this. Exactly. Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. It's like, I can't wait to see what I'm going to do tomorrow because I have no idea today.
It's exciting.
Love that.
So,
love that.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Love to you, Karen.
Bye.
And everyone else out there, yes, goodbye. Goodbye, but not goodbye. We'll see you soon. All right. Everyone, we love you.